Wagwan, what's great? That's how we say it in Jamaica. How we say welcome and how's it going? And it's a good greeting. Today on So Your Wife Wants You To, one thing Wifey and I love is candy, but we also like to be healthy. So that's not always easy to do, but here's a good recipe that I found from a Jamaican guy. I learned it from him on how to make pretty healthy candy. This is a grapefruit. There's some really awesome citrus fruit down in the tropics. Lots of beautiful, vibrant colors. Tastes amazing. So we're going to take a knife. We're going to cut the peeling away from the grapefruit. The way they do it down there is, and you want to try to get as little of the white stuff as possible. If you've ever thought, oh, well, grapefruit peel probably tastes disgusting. Like, I've had orange peel before and it's gross, you know. A lot of that gross stuff is in the white part. And if you can shave off the colored part without getting into the white part, then you can make some pretty cool stuff. I think they call it the zest, but zesting I thought was like smaller amounts, whereas this is, you can even like, if the guys down there, they can like take this whole thing and just peel it in like 10 seconds. I'm not that good yet, but as you can tell. But go ahead and get all that peel off, and then we'll go to the next step. All right, these are going to be your pieces of candy. Not the carrots. This is from a different project. But these are your pieces of candy. Really thin pieces of peel. That's kind of what they look like. Other side, there's a little white stuff. A little bit of white stuff is okay. You just don't want to get the thick peel. Save your fruit for doing something else. You can eat it. Okay, let's go on over to the stove. I'll show you what the next step is. Okay, I have the peels in some water, just enough water to cover the tops of them. So maybe an inch of water, maybe a little less than an inch. What we're going to do is bring them to boil. Then dump that boiled water out. We're going to do that again. So add fresh water, bring it to boil. Right when it boils, dump it out. So that, just that 2 times is enough to get any of that bitter taste out. And what'll be left is the citrus peel that has all the oils in it. From there, we do the candy process. So in the next few minutes, I'm just going to boil it, let it to boil, dump it out, boil, dump it out, and then we'll be back. Oh, as you're doing this, I would love it if you like little videos on just random stuff like this, if you would subscribe and give us a like. I know everyone says that on YouTube these days, but it really is important for the software, like for how YouTube works. It tells YouTube that you like these types of videos, and that's just how the whole game works. So if you like this stuff and you want to subscribe, I would love to have you come for future. And check out some of the past stuff. I've done a lot of weird, interesting things on this channel. Alright, that's all. Oh, and be careful with knives. And if you notice they're sticking together a little bit, you can give it just a little bit of a shake. Make sure that they all kind of don't stick together. That'll be important later when we're adding sugar too. Alright, you see it just came to a boil. So we're going to dump that. I've already dumped it once. Just like that. You can use a colander if you're not as experienced, I guess. Alright, the next step is going to be for every 2 parts of sugar you add 1 part of water. For this little amount, I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of sugar and a tablespoon of water, maybe a little bit more. And it's just going to simmer down for a few minutes. I might actually do 3 tablespoons of sugar and like 1.5 or 2 of water. It's not exactly a science. It just kind of, the point is to get as much, whoa, we're big. Point is to get as much, I guess, sugar in there as possible so that it's all coated in that sugar. And this is actually organic cane sugar that I use. It's like it's got a bigger granule than the typical, like, I guess, baking sugar that people have. So this ended up being 3 tablespoons of sugar and then 2 tablespoons of water. Again, it doesn't matter exactly what the ratio is. The point is to have enough that you're candying your peels. So now we just let it simmer until it gets real real bubbly and kind of sticky looking. It might be like 5 to 10 minutes depending on how hot you have it, but that's the basic gist. Just let it simmer. So I'll show you in just a second in the Magica video what it should look like right before you take it off the heat. And I have my stove set at 4. So kind of 4 or 5, so like medium-ish heat. And while it's going, guys, one thing, if you click on the bottom right of your screen, there's like a little gray triangle. That's the description section. And I put links in there that if you click on them, Amazon will send this channel some money as like a thank you for referring people to them. No cost to you guys, but it helps me with just like what little percentage that I get if people buy stuff, and I put it back into this channel. So I buy things like sugar, or I'll buy like a screwdriver, or just whatever I might need to do videos. So if you want to help out this channel, that's a really free and easy way to do it. Just if you're going to buy something on Amazon, just give us a click. And a shameless plug to my boy Corey over at Everyday Man. He just sent me these stickers. If you want a sticker, go check out his channel, Everyday Man. Alright, these things are almost done. We'll be right back. That was my little commercial, I guess. I also had somebody ask me, Steve-O, can you cook these too much? As in like too long or over too high of a heat? And I have not had that. Once they get to where they need to be taken out, you can take them out. But I've had it to where you cook over high heat. I've cooked them for just 5 or 10 minutes and they were done. I've also had them where I simmered them because I was doing other things. So I was like, I'm just going to put them on low and walk away. Simmered them for like over 20-25 minutes and they turned out great. So these are really hard to mess up. One time I took them off too late and it was more like caramelly, and they kind of got crisp and caramelly, which is a different kind of treat. I mean, if you like that, it could be good, but the point here is to make them kind of soft and chewy with like a sugar coating. So that's what I'm going to show you today. But if you cook them quickly or slowly, I'll show you one thing that you look for. It's not doing it yet, but in just probably another couple minutes, I'll show you what you can look for to kind of see that they're getting done. All right, see how it's getting more bubbly? That kind of shows you that there's less liquid and more sugar now. They're really close to being done, like another minute and they'll be done. And let me show you the one thing to look for. I'm starting to see it in here. Let me go get my tongs. Alright, this is what it looks like when it's done and ready to be take off the heat at this point, because you got just seconds to go until they burn. But also, see how it looks like glass? See how transparent they look? Let's turn this heat off. Look how they look like glass. See if I can get it to focus. But once they're transparent and they look kind of glassy, and you can see that this is the sugar, how it's actually stringy, almost like cotton candy. That is how you know these things are done. I'll show you one here. See how the edges are glassy looking? So that's how you know they're done. So next, we got to get a drying rack. I'll show you here. Also, for all you home brewers out there, I'll take this sugar, the leftover sugar, and actually save it in like a medicine cup, and I'll put it in beer. Man, it tastes great in beer. You can taste like a citrusy kind of back end taste on it. It's really cool because this is full of citrus oils. So citrus oils and sugar. Anyway, we got to get these out, so let's do it. All right. So get your drying rack, put it on a plate, because you're going to be sprinkling some sugar onto this, so you got to keep it, catch it. See how translucent they look? It's hard to see, but they already look like candy. They're pretty, quite beautiful looking. And they get real sticky really fast, so that's what you want. Again, they're really hard to mess up. And I say that because I want you to try it out and play with it. I mean, I've done it to where I'll actually, instead of water, I'll put in cranberry juice and let it simmer. You could do so many things. Like you could do lemons or orange juice, you know, like freshly squeezed orange juice, whatever you want. But the point is to start so you can like play with it. All right, and this is the sugar I'm talking about that's left over for all you home brewers. You can do some cool stuff with this sugar. It's yummy. You can make caramel out of it too. It's kind of a weird taste. It's like a citrus caramel, but that's a different story. All right, so this is your pieces of candy. Now what we want to do is get some sugar and sprinkle it on top. So let's go do that. All right, so I'm just going to take this thing and tap it on each piece. Do each piece individually. Don't worry about, you're not going to waste any because the stuff that falls down onto the plate, you're going to use to coat the other side later. So it's okay if it falls down. Like don't be shy about it. All right, and that's really it. Like the only last step is after these have dried for a few hours, you could even wait several hours. You just coat the other side and they're ready to eat. So that is all. Thank you for watching. Again, I would love for you to subscribe, and whether or not you do, I hope to see you again in the future. And until then, get back to work.